like, oh, this happened. Fools be trying to say this not content. It's like the borderline, you know.
Pocho, you're lame, dog. Quit saying my name, dog. You thirsty getting clout. You get no views on your podcast anyways, dog. Stop capping, my boy. Yeah, you reached out. You talk good about me. I never did an interview with you, my boy. You wanted to go on live. I never did, because why? I know what it is. You're making a narrative that's never going to happen. Dog, there's too much bloodshed, too much bullshit going on. Prison is prison. The streets is the streets.
Much you fake.
Where you from in Compton?
Yeah, I'm from Eastside Compton.
What hood?
Compton DLP. Compton Water Road Farm.
Oh, 83rd Street.
That's what's happening, man. Shout out Compton.
Compton. Barrio Padrinos Gang. Salute, bro. Pface. I always thought that name was funny. Pface, right? Pface, baby. Compton, bro. Hey, what it do, what it is, what it was. This is your boy Pocho, the Pocho Podcast. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, support a real one in the field. I know. Hey, y'all, seriously, if you can, like it, subscribe. 80% of the people that watch my work do not follow me. That's a tragedy, bro. What is it with the hate? It's so easy. It's right there. Subscribe, like. Anyway, today we're talking about Pface, baby. He's going viral again and again and again. And we're asking today, is he going viral for saying NK, for disrespecting the Crips, for being, against all black gangs and all black people? Or is he just a misunderstood Latino kid from Compton or Bompton, from Compton, California? Some people think he's from Linwood. Relax. It's like us from Santa Rosa. Are we from the Bay Area? Are we not? North Bay? It's a little iffy. Pomona. It's LA County. Is it part of LA? I don't know. But anyway, we're not here to talk about necessarily the specifics of gangs, but we want to talk about Pface, the Sureno rapper coming out of Compton, California, who is starting to blow up. I think he's actually part of OTR. Shout out to them. Hey, you know what I mean? They're picking up all the little viral guys, and hopefully it's a strategy, and hopefully it works. Well, this guy has started to go viral. First thing he went viral for, and so I just want to clear up a couple things in this video, and basically, I'm feeling this fool. Honestly, dog, I like the dude got a personality. The fool keeps it real. He's not scary. You know what I mean? I think he should win, dog. I think he should win. What do you guys think? So, let me know in the comments if you're messing with Pface. Baby, do you like him or not? Do you think he could come up? Again, every Southside rapper, every Northern rapper, I always think that they could have regional success, but they will not find, any more success than that, And the problem is when they first start, it's like they're just coming up from the streets, so that's who they are. But it's not to say that you can't be a gangster rapper, but at a certain point, you got to transition. So let me know if you think Pface will transition into more like a superstar rapper like OhGeesy. Or like Pesoh, who's starting to kind of get out of just the gangster rapper. But the first thing this vato is going viral for is for saying NK. And relax, man. This is the only thing I do not like about people getting more popular on the internet. They literally pick and choose little things of your life and try to blow them up. And they've done that in my life. And they're doing it with this little young man. This guy.
We are functioning as homies, We all.
And he even admits it in this new video. Shout out to Baby Draco or something? Dope content, bro. Shout out to him, DC Draco or something like that. Salute. I'll put it in the description. But this vato said, bro, the first thing I made a mistake was getting on live with my enemies. He got on a live at 12 years old with his enemies, and whoever were some Crips or whatever, and they started becoming racist, calling him a B. You know what I mean? The B word. You know what I mean? And so he said the N word, you know what I mean? And we've all done that. I've had black friends, bro. They started getting racist on me. We started getting racist on them, and we show love after. This is a little different because it's on the internet and it's gang related. This was between me and my homeboys, and we all made up after it. Maybe caught a couple fades. We used to really catch fades all the time. Just a lot of them were actually body blows, and then sometimes in the face. But today, bro. So that's the first thing. So let the homeboy breathe. Relax, bro. People make mistakes. They get popular, especially ghetto kids. You know what I mean? I think we got to show people a little bit of grace, especially when they're not running and they're facing it. And in this interview, he clears everything up. So I just think every single person that comes up gets popular. There's always got to be some kind of dirt on them, no matter what. That's what I hate about our people, bro. We can't just support. You feel me? So this kid And then remember, this kid got popular off of a hood vlog. His homeboy invited him to on No Jumper, the new interview that's coming out. His homeboy invited him to, and then he started coming out and just speaking his mind. And he started popping up. He said he didn't even have a haircut. You know what I mean? He was just doing this thing. So shout out to him for just being himself. So I feel like I like this kid because at each step he's going from hood vlogs to No Jumper to the viral videos, and he's keeping it 100, keeping it real with himself and with his fans. The second thing recently that after the interview, he went over to the news, and a lot of people are trying to say that Adam 22 set this up because he knew that he used to have, like, his hood has funk with blacks, and that, you know, and then, you know, he puts them in a situation that they might start funk so that he can get content out of it. I don't necessarily think that Adam was thinking that through. Like he said in his own words, is that he didn't think it through. They had such a great interview. He was inspired, and so he just dropped him into the weekly news, where there's some blood. You know, the mayor of Inglewood, you know, Munchie B, and A-Trade Gangster. Shout out to, I forgot his name, my bad, but he's doing real good work on there. So he starts going over there, and he sees that it might not be his thing, you know, because for a lot of people, I kind of like this thing about Pface too, is that he saw that the little like podcasting thing with different races and different people that are different kinds that maybe aren't like him is not what he's trying to do right now, because he doesn't know what they were talking about. So he bounces out, like, and that's kind of like a G thing to do, you know. Hey man, I'm not really feeling all this gossip stuff. I'm just gonna get up out of here. I came to get interviewed, tell my story, and move on. So salute to him for that. While he's leaving, I think it's Ant Dog. He's from A-Trade Gangster. It's an old school neighborhood and gang that went to war with the 60s and is still around. Salute to all the gangster Crips. You know what I mean? This is not gang related. This is just trying to work things out, you know, that kind of get twisted on the internet. Being the voice of reason is not easy. So he asked him where he's from, and the guy just says, and man, again, this is another reason why you cannot hate on this little kid, bro. No, I don't mean to call him like that, but this youngster. Is that he says, first he just says Compton. You know what I mean? First he says Compton. Then he says East Compton or something. Or maybe he just says East Compton. Then he says what gang or what hood or whatever. I think he says what hood. And then the vato says, you know, Compton, barrio. He just says it like that. Compton, barrio. Padrinos gang, or I think it's Padrinos. I don't know. Padrinos. I'd always feel bad if I don't know. Make sure be Compton, Barrio, Padrinos. Yeah, Padrinos. Godfather gangs. Basically, he was just saying like Compton, Godfather's gang, bro. Like that's how everybody. Like if you want to translate, it's Compton, Godfather's gang, bro. But he wasn't even saying it with a mad face. He was just saying like, you know, when you used to say your name, you say, you know what I mean? Park life or no life, you know what I mean? You got to put some emphasis on that just to be clear. Even the homegirl says, and he said it very clear. And that's not, you know, and then the only thing I didn't think was the guy from 83rd was like, I beg a pardon. I got to beg a pardon, which I thought was funny. And Ant says, you know, when people get turned up like that, I feel like they're putting a little extra on it, or they got a chip on their shoulder, or they're not really, you know, you don't got to go all that far. You can just be like, you know, how he said it, 83rd Street. But bro, you know, there's no rules in the streets. And when somebody hits you up, you got to express yourself back, you know, and let them know that you're not scary. And he didn't. So he gets points. I mean, everybody gets points. And I know that a lot of this stuff is cheesy, you know, like who cares, right? But I think it's important to get up in the mix of these things and figure out what's righteous. And what's righteous is that this kid is just trying to be himself. He wasn't looking for trouble. He stood up for himself. And when somebody asks you detailed questions about yourself, you have the right to react or respond whichever way you deem, you know, fit. Especially if this is a gang thing, you know? So that's another reason why this vato, you know what I mean, is doing his thing. So one, he was not no NK, and he clears it up in this interview that his hood, and on No Jumper, that is, yes, his hood bangs and fights against black gangs, but it's not racial, it's gang related, bro. And in this interview, he says, I wouldn't face you, you know, you if I really had secret animosity towards blacks. And I think that is dope that this vato could say, you know, in a real way, that, you know, and acknowledge saying like, hey, bro, if I really had hate for you, I wouldn't do this interview with you, because this interview is helping the other homie because he's viral. He's helping a black man, you know, content creator go get views because he knows he's viral. They're doing business. They're collaborating. So collaboration is usually a good thing between racial groups. So anyway, let me know in the comments below if you think Pface is doing his thing, if he stood tall, if he's staying tall, and even in the end, last but not least, he actually apologizes to the whole black community. He says it in the most dope gangster ghetto way to black mamas, black kids, black fathers. I apologize to all y'all if that, took that the wrong way. But again, he was 12 years old, bro. 12 years old, talking to his enemies in a heated conversation online. Give the kids some slack, bro. I think it's funny enough that us adults are on the internet talking all this stuff. But if we're going to be on the internet, let's give the youngsters a little bit of slack. Let's pull them up. There's a term that I don't use, but it's a good term to think about. Don't break a homie, make a homie, right? Try to make a homie before you break a homie. And a lot of us are trying to break each other, trying to see who's down or who did this. You gotta be, I swear to God, gangsters are the most caring fools ever. You gotta be perfect in the streets. And again, the streets always win. And when you take a W in the streets are gonna want that W back eventually. So hopefully this kid right here is learning from his mistakes, moving forward. He seems like he is. He's about to, pop off on No Jumper. And I gotta say, some of his music is not that bad. His neighborhood is respected. And yes, last thing, he didn't hood hop. Last thing, he didn't hood hop. Supposedly, his clique was gonna be part of another neighborhood, and they came off onto themselves, kind of how 18th Street, moved away from Compton because 18th Street wanted to let any racial group in, not just Mexicans, and Compton wanted to stay Mexican-centric. So, in this video, I clear it up that the kid is not NK, that the kid was just in a heated argument, that the kid stood his ground when a grown adult that's like 20 years older than him asked him where he's from and what gang he was from, not just what neighborhood he grew up in or community. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, he goes back on the internet and does an interview with a black man, letting the world know that he apologizes for his mistakes, but that it's not anything personal. It's just a ghetto kid trying to get through the concrete jungle of Los Angeles, of Compton, which are actually different, but LA County. You know what I mean? And just trying to become something, bro. We gotta help the homeboy come up, More and more I'm seeing that we can joke around. I mess around, I troll, we mess with each other, but there has to be a certain line and boundaries where we're not trying to cancel each other's lives, careers, music. We gotta have fun. This is building culture. Talking about these kids, talking about these young rappers coming up is helping them get more exposure. Even if we have some things that I think are funny, like Pface, baby. I think that name is funny, but it's all good. You feel me? Pface, baby. You stood your ground. You did your thing, and I respect you, homie. I hope you do your thing, and I just hope you get away from dissing. Like, I think you got caught up in dissing the Fresno Bulldogs, and I don't know. Hopefully, you're not dissing up north, because I know people from your neighborhood that are 20 years older than you, or at least something like that, because the hood's not that. I don't know. Anyway. And they're all LA-centric. It's not, part of up north. So there's no reason for you to diss up north like Lefty. No reason for him to just go out of nowhere and diss up north just for views. Get your views on your music. Real quick, bro. You got a face card, bro. You got a good personality. You got a story. You're from Compton, bro. You're from Bompton. You're from the motherland. You don't need to diss nobody. Stand on your music, stand on your morals, stand on your gangsterism as you have been, and you will make it far. And at the moment when you're going to stay in the gangster shit, transition like OhGeesy and all of them into something bigger, because you got the face card. You should act. You should get connected with Baby Jokes with your Cabral. Go to Homeboy Industries. Maybe get some of the tattoos off that are not as good looking. I'm not saying the gang tattoos, but I tell all gang members, you don't have to go erase your gang tattoos, because I didn't. But erase the tattoos on you that don't look good that you got from prison. Why not, fool? Most of you vatos are just scared to do it. So clean up your act a little bit, bro, and you can go a lot further. Let me know in the comments, is Pface, baby, gonna make it? Did he stand tall? Is he a real one in the field like your boy Pocho One? And I'm out!